America used sea drones in combat for the first time against Iran. A building inside Iran's Bushehr nuclear power plant complex was destroyed meters from an operating reactor. Iran says the plant is fine. Satellite imagery says otherwise. Jordan, Bahrain, Kuwait, all struck in retaliation. The IAEA warned in 2025 that hitting Bushehr means radiological disaster. Someone just tested that warning. The United States has launched another wave of strikes against Iran, targeting military infrastructure across the country as tensions over the Strait of Hormuz continue to escalate, while fresh satellite imagery is raising new concerns over the security of Iran's nuclear facilities. According to US Central Command, American forces carried out coordinated attacks on dozens of targets on July 12th using fighter aircraft, naval vessels, one-way attack aerial drones, and, for the first time, one-way attack sea drones.
U.S. Central Command completed a new wave of offensive strikes against Iran July 12th, hitting dozens of targets at multiple locations with precision munitions to degrade Iran's ability to continue attacking international shipping flowing through the Strait of Hormuz.
CENTCOM said the strikes targeted Iran's military capabilities linked to operations around the strategic waterway.
CENTCOM forces struck Iranian military air defense systems, coastal radar sites, missile and drone capabilities, and small boats using U.S. fighter aircraft, naval vessels, one-way attack aerial drones, and one-way attack sea drones for the first time. The Strait of Hormuz is a vital maritime corridor for global trade. Iran does not control it.
As the strikes unfolded, satellite imagery analyzed by Egypt's Intel Observer indicated that a building inside Iran's Bushehr nuclear power plant complex was destroyed, only meters from the facility's operating reactor. The damaged structure appears to be part of the construction area for 2 additional reactors. This comes after CNN, citing satellite analysis by the Institute for Science and International Security, reported signs that Iran may be rebuilding parts of its nuclear infrastructure damaged in previous attacks. Iran's Atomic Energy Organization, meanwhile, dismissed reports of a US strike on the Bushehr nuclear power plant, confirming that the facility is fully intact.
The plant is operating under safe, stable, and normal conditions, with all units and facilities functioning normally.
The Iranian Students' News Agency, citing Bushehr Governor Mohammad Mozaffari, reported that 10 US strikes targeted 4 sites in the southern province, with no casualties documented. Located on Iran's Gulf Coast, Bushehr is the country's first and largest nuclear power plant. It was built with Russian technical assistance. The developments have renewed attention to a warning issued in 2025 by IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi, who cautioned that any direct strike on Bushehr could trigger a major radiological disaster requiring evacuations across hundreds of kilometers, including parts of neighboring Gulf states. Meanwhile, footage aired by Irib News showed a massive fire engulfing a destroyed hangar at Omidyeh Airport in Iran's southwestern Khuzestan province. Local officials said 4 locations across Omidyeh and Mashhad were struck by US projectiles shortly after 1:45 a.m. local time. Iran responded by announcing a new round of retaliatory operations against US military facilities across the Gulf. The IRGC said it targeted the Prince Hassan airbase in Jordan with missiles and drones, setting fire to several fuel depots and ammunition storage facilities. In a statement, the IRGC said the attack was the first phase of its response to US strikes on Iranian coastal military bases. Bahrain's Interior Ministry has said sirens have been sounded again, warning people to remain calm and head to the nearest safe place. The warning came as the IRGC claimed it had launched the second phase of its retaliation against Bahrain's Sheikh Issa airbase, saying it struck helicopter maintenance facilities, a hangar housing a P-8 maritime patrol aircraft, and a US drone command and control center. The IRGC also claimed its aerospace forces had completely destroyed fuel storage tanks and Patriot air defense systems at Ali Al Salem Air Base in Kuwait, along with a strategic FPS radar system at Ahmed Al-Jaber Air Base, calling it the third phase of its Eye for an Eye operation. The military confrontation between the United States and Iran has escalated dramatically, with Washington launching its largest wave of strikes this week, while Tehran claims to have expanded retaliatory attacks across the Gulf, pushing the region closer to a broader conflict centered on the Strait of Hormuz. According to US Central Command, US forces completed a third round of strikes against Iran on July 11th, in response to Tehran's latest attack on a Cyprus-flagged commercial vessel transiting the Strait of Hormuz.
U.S. Central Command completed a third round of strikes this week against Iran, July 11th, holding Iranian forces accountable for attacking another commercial ship in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. forces hit approximately 140 Iranian military targets with precision munitions launched by land and sea-based fighter aircraft, drones, and naval vessels. Targets included Iranian missile and drone sites, naval capabilities, ammunition storage facilities, communication networks, and coastal surveillance locations.
CENTCOM said the latest strikes targeted Iranian military infrastructure around Bandar Abbas, Sirik, and Chabahar, while revealing that more than 300 targets have now been struck during 3 nights of operations.
During 3 nights of strikes this week, CENTCOM has struck more than 300 targets at the direction of the Commander-in-Chief to degrade Iran's ability to attack civilian mariners and commercial vessels freely transiting the strait. Commercial vessel transits through the vital international maritime corridor continue.
The US military added that since early May, it has helped more than 800 commercial vessels, carrying nearly 400 million barrels of oil, safely transit the strategic waterway. Iran responded by claiming it had intercepted and stopped a second offending vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps warned that continued US-Israeli aggressions would trigger even more devastating retaliation. The confrontation quickly spread across the Gulf. The IRGC claimed to have carried out a heavy and surprise strike on logistics and refueling facilities supporting US aircraft carriers at Oman's Duqm port, describing it as the third phase of its response to US attacks. The IRGC also claimed ballistic missile strikes on Qatar's Al Udeid air base, alleging it destroyed a fighter aircraft maintenance center and a command and control facility. However, Qatar's Ministry of Defense said its air defense systems intercepted the incoming missiles. Iran's army further claimed it launched waves of explosive drones targeting US military sites in Kuwait and Bahrain, including Patriot air defense systems, radar installations, ammunition depots, and communications facilities. Separately, the IRGC said it fired ballistic missiles at Jordan's Prince Hassan Air Base, claiming to have destroyed a command and control center and hangars housing MQ-9 drones. Meanwhile, the United Arab Emirates confirmed its air defenses were actively engaging incoming Iranian missiles and drones, while Bahrain activated emergency sirens for the second time in a single morning. Amid the military escalation, Brigadier General Mohammad Akraminia told Arib that Washington must comply with the June 16th Memorandum of Understanding, accusing the US of creating an illegal route through the Strait of Hormuz.
The U.S.'s intervention to create an illegal route through the Strait of Hormuz has caused insecurity in the area. Iran's armed forces would firmly defend the rights of the Iranian people in the strait. Our army is constantly updating its bank of targets.
Iran's chief negotiator and parliament speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf also issued a warning on X.
The era of one-sided deals is over. We told you, keep your word or pay the price. Reality is knocking.
Ghalibaf's post highlighted Article 5 of the US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding governing the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, underscoring that control of the strategic shipping lane has now become the central flashpoint in the rapidly escalating confrontation.